Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for LAMH Huntsville season 6 and maybe 7, child. I don't know. This is a reunion part 2. Whew. We almost at the end though. So I'm glad we're rehashing everything. I don't want none of the stuff we discussed on tonight coming up again next season, please. Let's go ahead and get into it. But before we do, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Be sure to tell a friend about the channel. It's a growing channel. I need your help to make it grow. Like the video, watch. It helps it get through the algorithm so that more people can see my content. It's free. So why not? And I definitely appreciate that and y'all. Okay, so we pick up with Tisha exposing that Keke and her husband cheated on each other. And Keke was like, okay, and like you said that to say what? So Keke addresses the allegations of paying for Amin, her husband, to go on a date. So she said he asked her for money earlier that day. Later on that night, she called him out at the restaurant and was in there acting a fool. But it was 18 years ago before they were married. And Martell and Mel were both like, I thought she paid for a date, like she knew he was going on a date. Oh, well, I thought it was an arranged. He's like, oh, no big deal. What world are y'all living in? Like, what? Oh, since she didn't know that he was planning to go cheat and spend her money, it was fine. First of all, the first issue, they wasn't married. He was asking her for money. That's the first problem. Then you had the audacity to use the money that I gave you to go on a date. And like Tisha said, then you still married him? Girl, why? I mean, I'm glad it worked out now, I guess. But, well, maybe it didn't because y'all didn't stop cheating on each other after that. But okay. I don't know. I just like be very for real. You can't be serious. Keke said she not a fool and a dummy like Tisha is. Both of y'all played a fool for your husband. And I ain't even just talking about the whole cheating allegation tip with Marcel because as we know and as we'll discuss again and again, there's no concrete proof nor evidence. It's just speculation, even though something deep down in my spirit telling me that he did it, but I ain't got no facts to back it up. That's just how I'm feeling. Okay. But I feel like all the things he said, the way he treats her, the way he talks about her, even now, the way he mentions her, the way he says her kids, like it ain't his kids. Like y'all both played a fool for a man. Ugh. So Tisha feels like Keke is using her and Marcel for a storyline. Keke said, I don't need y'all for a storyline. I've been popping without it. Like, first Stormy, now you. Everybody was popping before the storyline. I ain't heard about none of y'all until y'all got on this show. I'm gonna be honest. Anywho, Carlos asked Kimmy and Mel if they feel like Tisha is in denial about what she's being told. They both like, you go. No, Mel, you go. No, Kimmy, you go. You go first. So Kimmy puts her cape on like she like to do. And she said no, because it's been going on for 5 years, year after year, over and over and over again. It's brought up and there's no proof. So I think she just tired because there's no evidence. And Carlos was like, in Melody. And Mel states that Tisha she don't want to get up and leave because she needs to see the Carfax. She doesn't have a Carfax, so she don't want to go. So basically, yes, you think she's turning a blind eye, but since there's nothing on paper, then it justifies it. Okay, I got what you're saying there, girl. Allegedly, in my opinion. We see a montage. We talk about Keke's sobriety. Then we see the montage with Crime Stoppers and drink throwing and testing happening. Keke chuckling it up while this is going on. Like, girl, what part was funny? Okay. So Tisha still thinks that Keke is on that stuff. Marie, because they were asking, Carlos asked if anyone thought that Keke was on that stuff when she threw that drink. Maurice felt like she was looking for a moment and she got one because they're talking about it. Well, I mean, I'd rather talk about that than talk about y'all's sex life, but that's neither here nor there. Kimmy said at first she didn't think so, but then she looked back and was like, okay, Keke was jittery. She was sweating like a pig in a blanket. So, I mean, she could have been. Whoo, child. Carlos asked about the methadone because Keke admitted to taking it, said she's still on it and takes it daily. And then when she took the test with Melody, it tested negative. Marcel mentioned that she possibly could have used someone else's urine. Mel defended Keke and said that test was legit. She was in the bathroom with Keke. I didn't see her go in there, but okay. Marcel goes into a story of him having to pick Keke up when no one else would, not her husband, not her mama, nobody. That's why I don't want nobody doing that for me. If you want to turn around and throw it in my face later on, don't even do it. I'd rather get on the bus. So Keke said that she will be vindicated for the Crime Stopper situation. Girl, you keep saying that. We don't even care no more. While I am tired of Keke's storyline as far as this is concerned, I think there's truths and non-truths to what everyone's saying. I think everybody's telling a little bit of a truth and a little bit of an exaggeration. I, too, am wondering about the methadone thing with the test, but it's clear because she said she's still using that, but she never used no hard stuff, but she is using that clearly because she was a little sweaty before she came out. So we move on to the Whitlows and the Fletchers. They're on the scene. They on the stage. Can we just go ahead and give the Fletchers the full time? I guess we giving them the full time spot. So we get into Martell's package. He's making nonstop faces as Carlos is speaking. So nasty, so rude. And we know that behind the scenes lately, like on today's date, he been getting into it. We know Martell, been in the back of the patty, cuss locked on wrist. And he also was yelling that he's an actor and that all this was fake and said, Carlos, don't you delete this comment. Sir, you're not in position to be acting like you want to lose your job. You just not really in a position to do. Okay. So Martell confirms that Sheree is his friend girl. Kimmy says when she saw them, it felt like a business arrangement. She didn't get the warm fuzzy. She didn't get the warm and fuzzy feeling. This is all alleged, but who didn't raise your hand out in the chat if you didn't think it was a business arrangement? Because I find it hard to believe that anybody would have believed. Even when they first said, oh, Martell and Sheree spotted together, it just looked so fake, in my opinion. Martell lied. And then he said he didn't even want to film a Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, sir, you are a liar. You like to lie. Allegedly. You sat up there and you was on there. We saw Sheree on one episode over here. We saw you on 11 episodes over there. You couldn't wait to pop up every chance you got. Please, that Real Housewives of Atlanta is a much larger platform on a broader network than this show. So please, not act like you don't got no room to be turning down no checks. Be clear. Marcel switched up. I don't know what's going on between him and Martell because he was taking shots at Martell the whole time. He tried to say Martell was a little aggressive with Tiffany. I thought he was just being sarcastic, but then as the show was going on, I don't know. Felt like he was just trying to throw Martell up under that bus. Tiffany said that her being biracial, she gets offended when she's called a Karen because she don't know if they calling her that because she's biracial. Girl, don't nobody be thinking about you being biracial until you bring it up. We really don't. You just look black. Sorry. You act like a Karen. It just is what it is. Like, you just do. I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You act like a Karen, so you're going to get called what you can call. We overuse it. Oh, don't say that. Oh, no. If you're acting like a Karen, you're going to get called that. Moving on. Marcel calls out Martell's contradictions with the whole Sheree thing. Marcel claims he doesn't want to be in a relationship. Then Martell switches up and says that he and Sheree were dating. Like you just said, she was your friend girl. Now y'all was dating. Which one is it? So Carlos asks if it's hard for Martell to date because he's not over his ex-wife. No, because he was dating while he was married. So why would it be difficult now? I mean, that didn't stop him before. What's a little thing like a feelings for an ex-wife? He didn't care if she was his wife, his fiance, his girlfriend. No, he don't care. Miss Nell said Martell admitted to her that he still has feelings for Melody. I think he always will, especially since she left him. He's never going to be okay with that. He's still feeling the way about her name change. And Melody's like, why, girl? You know why. He's pissed. That name holds no weight. He can't do it on his own. He can't even get his builder's license. Marcel asked Martell if him admitting he loves Melody will get him in trouble with his wife. Ooh, Marcel. What wife? Marcel is a true frenemy. Melody was like, yep, that's what it is. Yep. When did he get remarried? Where's the papers to prove this? You talking about common law or what? Marcel said he's single. Mel said he's lying. Either way, coleslaw is a fool. Marcel overtalks and starts yelling about her having 11 babysitters. Sir, we don't care. We didn't care the first time you said it, and we definitely don't care now. We don't. What that got to do with you living with your side piece? So Mel said in the paperwork, Marcel stated that he and Sheree had a business relationship. And Marcel gonna say later, like, you had us in here going back and forth wondering if that was a business agreement just to find out that it was in the paperwork the whole time you knew. And Melody was like, look, I was just minding my business. It ain't had nothing to do with me. I didn't bring it up until I needed to bring it up. So Marcel runs off stage like the little sissy. Let me not say that because y'all get offended when y'all, can't say nobody's ass and we can't say nothing. He ran off the stage like a toddler. And then he ran to get some papers that Carlos was like, I ain't about to sit here and decipher through all this paperwork. I ain't doing that. Just to sit there and say my Melody is lying and all this with the babysitters. Anyway. So he said, you're always lying. You're always making me look horrible. That's all he cared about is how he looks. So you make yourself look horrible each and every time. Carlos ends it. He like, hey, enough. Sounded like somebody's pappy had to stop some kids from arguing. Melody was like, see how toxic it was in that household? And that's why I beat your ASS. Whew, Lord. Martell was like, see, now if a man would have said that, that is true. But given everything he's done, I wasn't really mad. I have to be honest with y'all. I really wasn't. Glad y'all got out of that and are moving on from each other. Ooh, I hope they never, ever reconcile. Ever. So we get into Tiffany's postpartum journey and them quitting the show. Carlos asked Tiffany if she wants to come back. She went all up and down the corner, around the block, through the bushes. Basically, not right now, maybe later. Stormy's family members, her mom and her Miss Betty and her cousin Junior are on the stage. Carlos asked Miss Betty what her problem is with Mel. Miss Betty said she felt that Mel didn't defend Stormy when those fans attacked her daughter. The same thing she said 100 episodes back, because we on episode 200. Stormy feels like Melody saw the comments under her tweet, and Melody denied it. Was like, I didn't see nothing. I believe she saw it. They were on the outs. They weren't on a good space, so she didn't care to defend it. So I do feel that. Miss Betty started going off. Mel said, you got enough going on with your family. You got enough business you need to be worrying about that you don't need to be worrying about mine. And Miss Betty said, mind your business. Don't bring up my family. Mind your business. Girl, wait a hold up. Talking about you arguing with a man you've been divorced from for 3 years. Like, yeah, a man who she has children with and is still dragging her to court every other day. But I digress. Now, Miss Betty, none of this had anything to do with you. Your daughter is grown. She can fight her own battles. You know that, right? Mel said, because Miss Betty, after she said something about arguing with a man you've been divorced from for 3 years, Mel was like, what did you say? I didn't hear you. And Betty was like, you heard me. Oop. All this is making me miss Miss Wanda. I mean, if we was going to have all this, we could have just kept Miss Wanda on. For real. But that's where the episode ended. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about the reunion thus far. Meet me back here next week for reunion part 3. Check out my other content. Turn on your post notifications. Check out my community tab. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.